Hello viewer, welcome back to some more Vagrus adventures in this horrible but beautiful wasteland. Here I am currently in Lumen. Spent like an hour or so running back and forth trying to make some money. And maybe it's just me, but it is somehow a little more difficult than usual. Wanted to bring it up back to 500. And I just don't seem to be getting what is necessary for that. But anyway, we got the stuff for the Golden Theory quest. I triple checked to bring copper and not bronze accidentally. Okay. I'm gonna get reimbursed. Maybe just a little more than I spent on it. So what's gonna be the next step? I think I'm about halfway through. Not actually sure if this one that I failed on purpose is being counted or not. Candake shoves a piece of bone in your face. The tusk of some wasteland beast. See how the melted tin flows in the carving of this tusk, she asks excitedly. The pattern is critical. I need to keep perfecting the technique, and for that I must have more dragon bone. And tin, of course. Bring me those, please. Oh boy. Dragon bone is like the most expensive thing you can find. Good thing I'm actually having a good reputation with the Rotarnax, so I might be able to get some cheap. Okay, 14 and 1 dragon bone. Ah, I was actually expecting more. That's actually almost nice of you. Okay, I could go right now to procure it. But since I'm closer to that, I actually want to do something about the wind. Because it has been bothering me a little bit. Keep getting stopped on my way back and forth. So let's get back to the shelter, resupply. Maybe see if I can bring some stuff to the way station. I think that would be the best place to start the journey from. Alright, see you in a moment. Alright, and here I am at Kernak way station. This should be a straight enough business. Trying to make our way over there. I have a whole bunch of supplies. That should be good enough. Also, on the way here, I found a rumor that another prospective team member is supposedly here in Ventulium. We're gonna have to check that one out. Once our business is done here. Now, one quick rest, and then we should be on our way. Oh, wow. That is actually different from the regular wastelands that we have been trotting. I almost don't want to get in here. Scouts who you have sent out report the presence of legionnaires upon their return, apparently camping out here in the Singing Winds. Right, there was also a rumor that some legionnaires were sent here. Okay. As you approach, you can see that they were right. Several dozens of Imperial soldiers rush around busily in a marching camp, consisting of a few military tents. You are not sure if they have noticed you, but assume so. A whole comitatus in the middle of the open desert is not exactly a sight easily missed. Well, we're not exactly on official business. Well, no. We do have some shamans with us who are investigating the wind. Would that count as official business? I don't know. We're not really gonna get anything out of avoiding them, I think. The camp seems temporary. Clearly, the legionnaires have no intention of staying here for long. Understandable. The accommodations consist of a few large military tents. You wonder why the Empire decided to send out its forces to such a forsaken place. Probably the same reason we are going there. Because this goddamn wind is making everyone's lives miserable. You are greeted by some watchmen at the perimeter, with one of them exclaiming, "This is the camp of the 7th cohorts of the 13th Imperial Legion. They ask you to leave your weapons behind with the assurance that they will be returned to you upon departure." You are led to a smaller, somewhat more ornate tent in the middle of the camp and told to enter. Inside, a sinewy tall man stands over a map folded out on a table. "Greetings, Vagrus," he says. "I am Tribune Philo Inersus, commander of the Windwatch. Thank you for meeting me. I have information that might be of interest to a traveler such as you." Okay, and you would just volunteer that information for me? I don't know, man. Sounds a little sus. You ask him what brings Imperial soldiers so far out into the wilderness. "There has been an incident," Philo Inersus replies. "We aren't exactly sure what caused it, but there was a huge earthquake in the region just recently. Calculations and scrying seem to indicate that its epicenter was somewhere in the vicinity of the ruins of Caravon, the ancient elvish city, but we cannot be exactly sure. Yet, given that those ruins were of an ill and cursed reputation even beforehand, it is feasible to assume something has happened there. Ever since that earthquake, the Singing Winds grew even worse and more hostile than they had been before. The ghouls grew fiercer, and there is also some indication that they cause nightmares, maybe even madness in those exposed to them for too long. And if that was not enough, murderous, ferocious monstrosities started to roam the land. We don't know what they are yet, but they are quite formidable opponents. We have neither the intention nor the capacity to stop you should you wish to venture deeper into the region." Well, at least they're honest about that. "A fair warning is all we can give. You'd better turn back and shun these cursed lands." Oh, believe me, I would like to do that. You consider this, and upon seeing it, Inersus adds, "I can answer your questions should you have any. And if you are interested in more, perhaps you should head to the Twin Towers, our base of operations." Okay, so what is Caravon exactly? And if you know where it is, why didn't you just go check there? Caravon was a mighty and magnificent city of the elves, Philo Inersus tells you, ruled by some queen, a great ally of the ascending empire back in the days of old. Legends say she had a special gift. Her voice was allegedly so beautiful that she could shape the world just by singing. Utter nonsense, of course. According to tradition, she sensed the coming of the calamity long before it occurred but paid no heed to the omens. assuming the gods of humanity would spare the elves. The Tribune rubs the back of his neck thoughtfully. She was wrong. Caravon fell just the same, and not much has been known about it ever since. The Singing Winds came to be all around it, and its ruins are rumored to be a dark, haunted place. I'd advise you not to seek them out. Okay. Ask what you can expect if you ventured further. I imagine. More of the same but worse. The commander gives you a curious look, as if trying to guess your intentions. Well, just as I said. Except for being freakishly strong and making travel hard, the winds in there have a foul tendency to incite malicious nightmares and the fever of the brain. Also, there are those ravenous monsters and who knows what else might prey on travelers. It's almost as if the calamity has occurred again in this region, only maybe on a somewhat smaller scale. These are not lands to tread lightly in. Okay. Do they know what might have caused these changes? Well, I imagine if they knew, they wouldn't be out here looking for stuff. The commander's face grows worried. We don't know, he admits. As I said, there was an earthquake not long ago, rather unusual for this area. Some say it was preceded by a most unusual phenomenon, a kind of a... He is clearly searching for the most fitting expression. A kind of a shriek, like the howling of a storm but thousandfold louder and more intense. It was strongest around these parts. There are reports about it being heard even in Torzak's shelter, although I don't give too much credit to those. Some say it must have come from the ruins of Caravon, but there is no proof of this either. So basically what you're saying in so many words is that nobody knows anything. That has been true this entire time. So with all that said, what are you doing here? We are the Windwatch, Philo Inersus replies, here to patrol the outskirts of the Singing Winds by imperial decree. Nice name, huh? A committee came up with it. Our base of operations are the Twin Towers, to the south and east of the plains. Anyway, we try to make sure nothing comes out and do our best to warn everyone not to venture there. Not that we have the capability to actually hinder those who wish to do so. Okay. Thanks for nothing, I suppose. We really didn't gain anything from this exchange. Okay, if we're going in, let's get these lamps. Counteract the twilight a little bit. Oh, what's this? Tectum Kelvar. What even is this? Is it like a rock formation? Or something like a lesser version of the spires near Devon? Looks like something burst out of the earth. I am a little bit curious. Depending on how this wind situation goes, I might take a look over there. But for now I kinda want to make it safe. Scout a little bit. Okay, where is this? Or was it the previous scouting that I did? I don't know. I really don't use this as much as probably should be warranted. It always just feels like I'm pressed for time all the time. Don't really want to spend movement points for anything. Maybe that's bad. And I should be thinking about that too. I don't know. Oh, what's this? The winds out here in the wasteland are getting more and more erratic. Not even the most seasoned travelers are used to such anomalies. You and your commas are certain that you can hear voices in the wind, becoming even louder. Ever louder even? And more disturbing, yet still not amounting to more than loathsome whispers. The whole experience is quite unnerving. The crew trudges on, but you can see that everyone is affected. Okay, so we're dropping morale in here. Great. Okay, we're getting close. Okay, it's gonna be in here somewhere. Need to take it slow. Let's do another scouting. Gonna look for an event now. Yeah, this is no longer relevant. How do I make it go away? Okay, so that is where we need to go. Okay, let's march over there. The Comitatus has reached the region of the four Kotrar shamans wish to investigate. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen. We still have 14 days of supplies. Even more, if I put it to half rations. A short search leads you to a deep crevasse where it would be ideal to set up camp. This is as good a place as any. Orind, the leader of the shamans, tells you, "We will camp here and prepare for a ritual of communion with the local wind spirits. It has to be done very carefully, so the preparations will take a few days. You can stay here with us or walk your own path, Vagrus, then return for us in, let's say, a week's time. By then the ritual should be concluded and should be wiser regarding the winds here. Even now, we can sense how corrupted and insane they have become." Okay, it's nice of you to give me the option. Oh, hey, there's Caravan, look at that. Very interesting. It's really smack dab in the middle of fucking nowhere, isn't it? Right, as I was saying, it's really nice of them to give me an option to leave them here. But look at this. We are in the middle of the Singing Winds Desert. A week is not even gonna be enough to get out of here. And then I would have to go back. I don't think so. Plus, I know I'm definitely gonna forget where they are if I leave them here. So let's just settle down. You tell Orind that you would rather stay and order the Comitatus to strike camp inside the crevasse. It is an ideal place, shielded from the wind and dust in most directions. It has only 3 natural entrances. You place guards at these key positions and place the campfires so that they are evenly spaced out. The shamans get to their preparations, which to your eyes looks a lot like a lot of singing, chanting, casting spells, as well as making small charms and fetishes. The day drags on as there is little to do or see in this bleak wasteland. You could start counting sand. I hear that's a nice thing to do when you're in the desert. And although you are indeed shielded from the worst of the wind, the voices that travel on it are difficult to ignore. At length, the first night approaches. And until we start dropping with morale, I'm actually gonna cut back on rations a little bit. Still no gathering. Morning comes and the wind outside the crevice picks up even more, whistling and howling so loudly that it is difficult to hear the normal speech. Still, the day drags on, and Arind assures you that by tomorrow morning, his cadre of shamans will be ready to perform the spirit ritual. Your crew spends most of their time huddling near fires inside the perimeter, trying to position themselves where the wind does not engulf them, despite it seeming impossible. You become fairly exhausted trying to make rounds, assuring people that you are not staying much longer, and keeping the general morale up. It is late in the afternoon when one of the sentries runs up to you with a worried expression. "Something moving out there, Vagrus," he blurts out. Several somethings, more like. Nobody could get a good look at them, but I swear their eyes are glowing. They stay behind cover quite efficiently. Although twisted mutants and strange beasts are not unheard of in the wasteland, this particular encounter somehow makes even your skin crawl. You tell the guards to be vigilant and report anything suspicious. By the time dusk is setting, everyone is on edge, having heard several reports of the dreadful sightings. Arind comes up to you, looking quite fearful. "You are right to be wary of those things, Vagrus," he says, looking toward the edge of the camp. "Something evil is coming. We can feel it, even in this place of howling mad spirits." Okay, losing 2 vigor right out the gate. It happens just before dark, right when your sentry's sight is the worst. Feral, guttural howling can be heard from outside camp. To your dread, from almost every direction. Oh, that can be good. When the glowing eyes appear, closing the distance by leaping and bounding across the broken terrain, keeping to cover as much as possible. But now you can see them. Wiry, twisted-looking, hairless humanoids with inhuman claws and dagger-like teeth. There must be dozens of them. Oh boy. An entire ghoul swarm. Born killers. So I imagine we're gonna have to protect the crew. They're not gonna care about the cargo. There's a lot of them. Even though the game gives me moderate success. At least I have decently high defenses. Let's see. Should I go with the crew or the fighting crew? Well, if the fighting crew falls, I'm dead out here either way, so let's go for that. Yeah, okay, barricade it is for the first turn. Let's see. We took out 5 and we lost a whole lot more. Okay, what are you? Slayer. Targeting crew. Obviously. And you're fast. Okay, what can I do here? Okay, got a bunch of people killed. Wait, do I even... Oh fuck, I lost almost everyone. And we're not even close. Okay, they are disengaging. That doesn't mean they're done though. I am, however, very much done. Yikes. Yeah, lost a bunch of morale. Oh, and it wasn't anything I did. They just failed the confidence check. Because it wasn't 100%. Okay. Well, I guess we can count that as me being lucky. Okay, give them some time. That helps a little bit. Let's see if maybe we can get at least a few people back. Ha! Look at that. Lost 5 outriders, but gained back 5 horses. Got a bit of supplies. Everyone is very hurt. That's not gonna be fun if they do happen to come back at a later point. We'll see. I think I'm going to consider this one a victory. Especially since I am not fighting inclined. But this might be a problem here. The repulsive, insane creatures are defeated, their survivors in full retreat from the crevasse. Despite your imminent victory, you turn in horror to see Orind and his shamans making a stand near their tents against a particularly ferocious pack of the beasts who seem to disregard the fall of their kin. It is almost as if they moved with a single-minded purpose to destroy the spirit callers. 2 of the shamans are already wounded, and the ghouls are moving in for the kill. And we have to fight with everyone but Nadir, seriously injured. I might be forced to reload a way earlier save here. That's gonna be a problem. Let's see. Oh, I actually have some help over here. Okay. You are all identical, I hope. Indeed. But fuck you with the 40% evade. Yeesh. That's a lot of damage that you're gonna do to me if I don't put a stop to it. And of course, you don't work on power. At least one of these should have a power requirement. This is all sorts of bullshit. Oh well. Let's see what we can do with this. Yeah, I thought so. Well, I actually tried reloading 4 times. Even got down here to the Twin Towers to hire some more fighters last minute. But I just cannot get through the companion fight part of this. Which means I actually have no way of doing this just yet. So I'm guessing, at the very least, I'm gonna have to come back up here to Ventulium. See if I can maybe grab that extra companion. Would probably help an awful lot. But that's gonna have to wait until the next time. I'm a little tired of all this. Gonna cut it right here, but still. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my bumbling around, then please give the video a like. It really helps me with the algorithm. And as always, I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, safe travels, Vagrus.